Hello guys, what's up? Hello boxing fans. Yeah, really thrilled to be able to tell you that finally we are the last big boxing event of the year is just around the corner. Yeah, of course, you know what I mean. Yeah, the big card in Saudi Arabia, which is in Riyadh. Yeah, Kingdom Arena. That's where it's gonna be. Well, we got really a full stacked car, man. It's great. I really loving it. And there's no, you know, it doesn't seem like there's gonna be any nonsense as some kind of fights between women or or people you never heard of. Yeah, this is all just the business, man. The real deal. For the most part, well, yeah, it is mostly a heavyweight dominated card with one light heavyweight and one cruiserweight fight, also really good ones. So I'm gonna start from the bottom. I mean, what appears to be the first fight, and this guy also, I believe, fought on in Riyadh last time as well. Mahmudov, Arslanbek Mahmudov, the Beast. Yeah, uh, big guy, really vicious puncher. Wow, yeah, man. He scored like a first round stoppage. Yeah, that was right. Last time around, which wasn't that long ago either. Yeah, but he was given a pretty weak opponent back then, unfortunately. What can you do? Arslan Bek Mahmud, who is, even though his name, may you may think because of that name that he's from Uzbekistan or something like that. He's actually from Russia. Yeah, but he is some kind of and a minority, an ethnic minority. I don't know which one, but anyway. Yeah, so yeah, in his last fight, that was in October 28th, he beat former cruiserweight junior Anthony Wright in only one round. So now he's fighting a real heavyweight and a good one even. Agit Kabayel. He is from Germany, Kurdish originally, as far as I know. He was very impressive, but his last fight was in March this year, March the 4th, and he stopped Agron Smakichi in 3 rounds only. And Smakichi is of the same height, about the same height as Mahmoud of 6'6". But and he's not bad either, but yeah, he just didn't do well against Caballero. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty evenly matched fight. Caballero is 31 years old and Mahmoudov is 34. Wow, even though Caballero has 5 fights more, he's 23 and 0, while Mahmoudov is 18 and 0. And of course, Mahmoudov has the higher knockout percentage, really. Yeah, yeah, by far, 94. Like only one of his wins so far were on points, and 15 wins by knockout for Caballero and 8 on points. Yeah, so this is gonna be. I trust Caballero will just try to outbox, Mahmoudov. Use his superior movement and speed and technique to win. But it's gonna be hard, for him to stay away from his big thudding body punches or head punches. Also, Mahmoud really has some serious power, man. That was very obvious last time he fought. Also, yeah. But this time, I think the fight will surely last longer than than one round for sure. So yeah, wow. I think I lean slightly more towards Mahmoudov because simply because the way he's has been just steamrolling over everybody almost. Yeah, the only guy I didn't stop was Carlos Takam, who is also kind of shorter, stocky guy. But yeah, everybody has their night. That he did put Takam down twice, but just wasn't able to finish him off. Takam is a tough guy after all. So, well, of course, I can see Cabell giving Makuno, real, problems. I mean, making him work really hard to get that win stoppage by stoppage eventually. And who knows? I mean, I don't think Mahmoudov has fought that many technical fighters so far. Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, he scored a lot of first round stoppage. Oh god, oh my god, he's. I didn't know he had that this many. Like most of them are only one in the sixth round or one in the seventh. That was early on, and so that's pretty much it. So if this fight goes more longer than that, I think it's a 10 round fight. Uh, no, actually 12 rounds. Wow. So I don't know how Hundo will react if he, will adapt if he has to go like past 10 rounds or something, 8 rounds even, he's never been even past the seventh yet. So if Cabal manages to stay away from his punches and, just concentrate on some boxing, counter punching, he has a good chance to win actually. But before that, it will be really dangerous for him in the first like 6, 7 rounds. Yeah, for sure. He will have to really be smart, and not trade exchange with Mahmoudova. Try play a tough guy. That will not work. No, no, no way. I think Cabal knows that, and his trainer knows that very well. So I can see Cabell winning if, as I say, if this goes past like the eighth round or something. Yeah, why not? Why not? But on points, most likely, yeah. Maybe I don't know. Maybe if Makulo should really tire, then maybe he can even get stopped, like in the championship rounds. Who knows? But of course, he hits so hard. I mean, and so he's got a really pretty big chance, good chance of scoring another knockout in the first 6 rounds here, but probably not before round four. I wouldn't really, expect one. Yeah, probably not. So there you go. That's my prediction. Not really gonna really clearly pick anybody. Actually, that's what I'm doing from now on. Yeah. All right. So we got Frank Sanchez also fighting on that card against Junior Fall, whatever you call it. I really like Frank Sanchez. He's just a very clever fighter, but also, a strong guy. Like he can box and brawl. He can punch. He can do it pretty much all. Pretty much. I mean, he's not a huge puncher, but he does have some pop. Yeah, definitely. So. He will definitely win this fight. I have no doubts. So I'm not gonna use much more time on that. Also, Jairo Petaya is fighting against Alice Zorro. Wow, so really romantic last name. So that one I'm gonna skip also because it's gonna take up too much of my time. I'm just gonna say Petaya I think wins that. Really, yeah, for sure. I never even heard of this guy before. I don't know why they make him fight so many nobodies, but I hope at least the fight can prove to be worth it. Yeah. Then we have Daniel Dubois versus Jarrell Baby, Big Baby Miller. Yeah, that's a pretty good matchup, rather even, I mean, you have a young guy, but who's had a couple of bad losses already. A little upsetting losses because he was doing well in both fights, and then he knocked Usyk down, but then it was like he almost was close to scoring a sensational knockout victory over Usyk. How great would have that been a victory if it really had been judged to be an illegal blow? I mean, but yeah, it was very like you know in the borderlands. Yeah, yeah. So Jarrell Miller has not lost yet. He's 26 1, but he hasn't been very active, lately. And there was this doping controversy, of course, which put a big cloud on his name. Before that, he looked very promising. He was gonna fight Anthony Joshua, but that fell through, of course. I mean, both guys are around the same height. I think Dubois is just a little taller at 6'5", yeah, and Miller is 6'4". But the big difference is the age. Miller is 9 years older. Yeah. So he had one fight this year, which he won against Lucas Brown. Miller, yeah, right. But between 2018 and 2022, he had no fights. Wow, man. So that was surely after the doping. Yeah, was found dirty. I mean, he's so heavy. This guy, oh man, holy crap. The reach is also the same. Both guys are orthodox, not southpaws, so that's good. That means the chance of a headbutt happening is very smaller. Anyway, yeah, but this is a fight that Dubois must win more or less to retain himself, as a top fighter and keep getting big fights, like bigger fights. If he loses this fight, pretty much that will be back to fighting British and European level fighters. And he's only 26, so to retire that young, you know, would be a shame. Maybe I guess. But yeah, I think he is the bigger puncher, definitely. Dubois, the younger man, and still doesn't have as many fights as Miller and all that. And yeah, just been kind of more active than Miller. Even though Miller has had several fights the past couple of years, but yeah, I mean, he hasn't had as demanding maybe fights as Dubois has had. Yeah, probably not. So I don't know really. I kind of lean towards Dubois, but he's got some issues, defensively. That's the problem. However, the thing with Miller, the way he used to win was just throw, throw, like until he would stop his opponents because of the steroids he was using. His stamina was endless, seemingly, because despite being so heavy. But this time he cannot rely on steroids or anything, so I don't think his stamina will be that great. But yeah, anyway. This fight will not be easy to win for him also because it's promoted by Eddie Hearn, and Dubois is his man, and if it goes the distance, most likely Dubois will get it. Unless, of course, Miller should really like dominate him, which I don't see really happening. And Dubois will be fighting really for his life, I think. And yeah, so I think probably he will win this fight. Um, yeah, I don't know really. Maybe on points or I don't. Yeah, probably because I think Miller is just a tough guy, and yeah. So that was that one, and then finally, I don't think I'll have time to do all of them right now. So I will do the main fight, separately. I will do a whole new video for Joshua versus Wallin, so this doesn't get too long. All right, so finally, we're Deontay Wilder. This is the co-main event, of course. Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker. Hang on. Oh yeah, Joseph Parker. Why did I think that he was gonna fight Andy Ruiz? This is strange, really. I think somebody, probably my friend Joshua, had that wrong. But yeah, it's Joseph Parker. Yeah, a good test, I mean, for Wilder, but to see, he hasn't had a fight since October last year, which was only one round fight against Helenius. So he's now, kind of getting on there in age, up there. Yeah, he's 38, and Parker's still only 31, even though you think he's older because he's had so many big, hard fights. Yeah, 3-inch height advantage and a big reach advantage. Wow, 7-inch reach advantage for Wilder. Yeah, Parker can box, of course. He's a tough, strong guy, really. I mean, yeah, but he just seems to lack something. I don't know what, but against the best guys he's faced, he hasn't really, given it. He hasn't really impressed. I always thought like he could have done better against Joshua, against what's his name, Dillian White. Yeah, I mean even against Chisora, the first fight, I thought he struggled a bit too much against the guy like who was no longer in his prime or in shape or anything. So of course Wilder can win by a knockout. Most likely, Parker can win on points, most likely. Even though he does have power, but isn't hasn't really scored many knockouts. Uh, he did win his last two fights that way, but it was against easier opponents, really. I mean, and then he got knocked out by Joe Joyce last year, and yeah, so he just hasn't really impressed. Really, just won the fights that he was supposed to win. He did what he was supposed to do, but not maybe what one might have hoped him to do or really expected him to do. I mean, because of his talents, yeah. So, but he never really embarrassed himself in any of his losses. Let that be said. But he could have won all those fights, I think, except maybe Joshua, because Joshua was in his prime back then, and a lot bigger guy and all that. So yeah, but that fight was close. I thought very close, really. I mean, I didn't see it so wide as the judges, but you know how the judges are. Yeah. Not gonna comment that. That was a ridiculous scorecard, really ridiculously wide. Come on, 118, 1010, and 110 and 119, 109. That was, I actually thought it might have been a draw at first, but I don't know, maybe Joshua won by, a couple of points, not more. Definitely not much more. But anyway, yeah, this fight, man. The problem is we don't know if Wilder is still Wilder, which he was before the last Fury fight, or in that fight. Because if he turns up where he was 2 years ago, he will destroy Parker, definitely. But we don't know. Maybe now he is finished. He might be. And in that case, Parker wins. He knows he must win this also, or else that's it. That's it. That's the end of his career. He has no reason to fight anymore, really. So yeah, he's been given so. I mean, he's been given several second chances already, to put it that way. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know really. As I said, I'm done really making like predictions for every of these matchups. I'm just gonna say either this or this. So I'm saying either Wilder wins by a knockout, but I think there's like 40% chance maybe of that. I think we will probably be a little surprised, and I think it will be a slight upset. I have a feeling that Wilder will not look good in that fight, but maybe he will. I don't know. But it will go some rounds before a knockout happens. Anyway, I'm sure of that. So yeah. So yeah, I think that because of Wilder's explosive power and his height and reach and athleticism, he's got a good chance of scoring a knockout here also. But he can also not do that, and in that case, it will be hard for him to outbox to win enough rounds to beat Parker. All right, yeah, all right. So that was it. Wow, shit, man, 21 minutes. I'm sorry, couldn't have been shorter. All right, so but this is like the end of the year, like the grand whatever. Yeah, the grand show. All right, so I'll be doing another, of course, video now for the main event. So see you. Bye.